National Planning Minister Rainbow Paita steps down. Project landowners receive dividends from LNG project. And one woman's 12-year battle pays off. And welcome. This is Tuesday's news. I'm Kilawani. Member for Finchafen Rainbow Paita has stepped down from his ministerial portfolio after a video of him using a police-issued weapon went viral on social media. While the use of the weapon has received backlash from the public, Police Commissioner David Manning has announced an investigation. The former National Planning Minister's decision to step down came after concerns were raised when the video surfaced. This is the video that went viral on social media. Seeing here is Minister for National Planning and Leader of Government Business, Rainbow Paita, firing a shot from a police-issued firearm. The weapon is an M4 carbine with a slide stock. Ammunition used is a 5.56mm with a 30-round magazine. Police Commissioner David Manning has announced an investigation into the matter. The member for Finchafen has welcomed the investigation and, in a statement, said he will step aside and allow a thorough investigation to proceed. Paita explained that his intention to use the weapon was following recent security threats. In September this year, his vehicle was shot at Waigani. The matter has since been reported to police. The incident prompted him to take necessary precautionary measures to protect himself. Already having a firearm license, he advised his Close Protection Officer or CPO, who is a certified trainer, of the need for him to acquire basic rifle handling skills. He said this is so that in the event that they were attacked and his CPO is critically wounded, he would be able to use the CPO's rifle in self-defense. However, due to the many concerns raised since the video has surfaced in the public domain, as a senior state minister in the Pangu-led government, he welcomes a police investigation into any unlawful conduct. To preserve the integrity of the office, he is stepping aside until the investigation is completed. Opposition leader Belden Nama is also not too pleased with the incident, indicating that he will file an official police complaint. But despite the incident, the public has applauded the member for Finchafen for voluntarily stepping down. Meanwhile, opposition leader Belden Nama, in a media statement today, confirmed he laid a police complaint against the member for Finchafen. In the statement, Nama stated Paita might have committed an offense contrary to Section 7 of the Firearms Act 2018. The opposition leader said he has also referred the member to the Ombudsman Commission. Nama concluded his statement by commending the former National Planning Minister for his bold decision to step down. A woman who has been fighting for 12 years to reclaim her house from the National Housing Corporation has finally won her case. Ellen Tigia resides in Ley but was illegally evicted. Her long battle with authorities and others who claimed her property was featured by EMTV reporters in Ley. Today, Housing Minister Justin Chechenko and Henry Mokono, Managing Director for NHC, presented her the title. She described it as a joyous moment and is looking forward to returning home.
Located in Ley on Ericus Doyle Street, this house, formerly a property of the National Housing Commission, has been the subject of a court battle that dragged on for years.
Inside the province, Blomier, Mr. Kawa, Bosem Nomet, Nakarim Tumuna Pini, Painim Hablo, Silip, Kirab. Ego kona at last so se mikisim dislaya migat big plahamamas mikre big plahamas on the ultimuna pigini to all hamamas all one bell all sale mi come so mi go back now by me plan moving all out now by me plan go inside long property blooming plan I stop.
Helen Tigia's father, Tigia Bis, bought off the property in 1999 after he signed a deduction salary form where 112 kina 50 toya was to be deducted from his fortnight pay over a period of 10 years. But after waiting for the property title for almost 6 years, in 2007, Tigia signed the contract of sale. But before the transfer would occur, a Richard Wapua claimed he was transferred the title deed. Further investigations directed by the Leh District Court revealed that Wapua's title transfer, dated 6th of December 2005, was illegal. After 4 evictions, Helen sought help from the Ombudsman Commission, an assistance that has helped her win back her land and property titles.
Get a payment, me making finish now, give me eviction notice now, so me like kirap ng good na same time masa I'm kisim stroke. Na inside 3 years me hard work look out him ma'am. Stalo sick bed lo engaw, go come lo court. Was I come lo night lo saving code oda. When me no got time long, ready lo go lo court long and me sabi ko. Imagine he go. Was a lawyer too, me looking more lawyer, helping me good. Me struggle. Look out him sick master blow me one time go and passed away in 2011.
Amongst the list of people she acknowledged were EMTV's Leh-based reporters. Here is an extract of their reporting.
Engaged 8 different lawyers to represent them in court. They have now engaged a 9th lawyer. The Tigis court battle began in 2008.
So me talk thank you to all OC, na one time you all media team without Julie or Badui. Me no nap come most them. And Mary way I'm so supportive through, I'm so supportive me, I'm so fight lo just like corruption can stop. Making me go on, I'm now me come. All same na me talk hamamas, all media team too, especially all EMTV. Hello Leh. Also follow up. All the time Julie by ringing me. You go all say one to helping me, lo ringing all management lo here, team all, making me go on, I'm now kaya blong come up.
Thekla Jogo, National EMTV News.
5 provincial governments and project landowners will receive their cut in the Croton equity options held in by Kumul Petroleum in the multi-billion kina LNG project. This is part of various other dividends totaling close to 552 million kina. Bradley Valenaki reports.
From 2014.
Prime Minister James Marape, the trustee shareholder of Kumul Petroleum, was on hand to receive the cheque from the company's annual general meeting as dividends for the year, totaling close to 552 million kina. 300 million kina is for the state to deliver the much-needed services to the people.
From 2014 to 2021, landowners and provincial government lost what would have been an opportunity cost for them to exercise the options to acquire that 4.27% asset at the very earliest. But blessing in disguise to our landowners and to our provincial government, I just want to appreciate your blessings.
The balance of over 251 million kina will go to the provincial governments and project-impacted landowners as per the long-awaited dividends from the Croton equity option of 4.27% shares freed by Kumul Petroleum. Landowners will get 189 million kina and the 5 impacted provincial governments will get 62 million kina.
You're getting it free of charge 7 years old against the assets that you would have paid over 7 years old. Technically left and right hand. So people of the 5 provinces, led by the governors, Kumul Petroleum Holdings Limited, and the people of our country have done it justice.
The 5 provincial governments say it's good news.
Revenue from PNG LNG was used to retire debts, not included on the hours, but used to retire the UBS loan for Oilset shares, which we had no part at all. Whatever happened in the past, we will take that up, but it will not stop us from accepting the unencumbered shares now for the people of our provinces. and also for the landowner companies.
Hela and Southern Highlands are the big shareholders in the venture, followed by Gulf, Central and Fly River provincial governments. The landowners, however, will have to complete all their clan vetting and other necessary documents before they can receive their payments. Bradley Valenaki, National EMTV News.
You're watching National EMTV News. More stories after the break. Welcome back to the news. A year after the passing of the ICAC bill, the Independent Commission Against Corruption is yet to recruit a commissioner and deputy commissioners. The ICAC office also needs to be established and staffed with adequate manpower and resources.
The Independent Commission Against Corruption is a milestone achievement for Papua New Guinea in terms of a coordinated approach to address corruption. But 1 year on after the passing of the bill to start the commission, a commissioner is yet to be appointed.
I've heard that the politicians are expressing that at least the commissioner be an expatriate to take away all these elements of one-talk system, all this. But I hope it's not a slap in the face for fellow Papua New Guineans. The law doesn't explicitly say all expatriates, that's all about. No, it's open to anyone. It's up to our, appointments committee to appoint when a kind of skin color.
The commission is putting this as priority number 1 to get ICAC up and running. ICAC Interim Chairman Thomas Elu says ICAC is here to coordinate state and civil society institutions' efforts in fighting corruption.
Misinterpreted that, ICAC is trying to take away police powers, the Ombudsman Commission powers, the public prosecutor's powers. If you read carefully within the organic law, it is talking about teamwork. It's talking about getting together, sharing resources, sharing expertise, and all of that. It's not only governmental organizations, also including the civil society.
Elu says the collaborative effort by government agencies fighting corruption has been lacking.
Surveys have been done, studies have been done, and we have discovered that our efforts in fighting corruption in Papua New Guinea has been uncoordinated. The relevant organizations like the anti-corruption agencies have been fighting corruption on their own.
Papua New Guinea has a reputation of being a corrupt country, according to countless corruption indexes published.
This country is deeply suffering the consequences of corruption, which is described to be systemic and systematic, and is said to have infiltrated all systems of both government and non-governmental organizations.
Starting a new government-funded organization from scratch is something that will cost millions of kina. ICAC has approved its organizational structure, but there are certain components of the Commission's functions that make it quite expensive.
If you seriously look at a well-structured ICAC that comes into full operations, I'm looking at about 100 million every year for ICAC. But at this time, we'd like to start small. We don't want to start talking about millions and millions of kina because there is no money, to be quite honest.
Apart from having the staff, the ICAC team wants a standalone building that would ensure the operations are not disrupted in any way.
But my team is working around trying to look for appropriate buildings that we can be able to accommodate the commissioners and staffs of ICAC to operate. I'd like to see an ICAC building, a standalone building on its own, to be built to ICAC specifications. We haven't actually experienced the type of threats that other ICACs around the world are facing. For example, in Indonesia, someone was burnt with acid and is almost blind. They planted bombs in his car, under his house. Those things will eventually come. Office, we need fireproof safes and all these sort of things. The security of staff, the security of the office. So I'd like to see a building that is built to ICAC specifications.
Fidelis Sukina, National EMTV News.
The Kumara Foundation is conducting its annual Travel to Change campaign in the upper and lower areas of Bundi in Madang. The campaign focuses on reaching out to remote communities to assist in education and rural health services. The campaign for this year is against malaria. The team of volunteers are currently trekking the mountains in the area to raise funds for their cause.
In rural health and education. So we would bring in volunteer medical doctors and grassroots volunteer track team members of Kumara Foundation from Bundi into the unreached areas, and then we would bring the medical services to their doorstep. If it means for us to conduct surgery, general clinic, whatever it is that can be done during the campaign. So we reach out to the unreached.
We're very excited to help with the Kumara Foundation. It's a very good cause, and we've decided to help them with logistics from Leh down to the lower Bundi area. We've got someone there waiting to pick them up and then take them to every single clinic that they have. And it's something that we should work on, and I think Vincent has come up with a very good foundation to help the needy and where, there's no road access.
Samarai Murua MP E.C. Henry Leonard signed an agreement with Architect Aviation for the management and operations of a seaplane for his district. The seaplane will be purchased at a cost of 1 million kina, along with a ferry costing 4.5 million kina. The member says these are purchases done from the Public Investment Program funds from 2019. Member for Samarai Murua District E.C. Henry Leonard signed an agreement with Architect Aviation in Port Moresby, which will begin the process of purchasing a seaplane for his district.
So today, we've signed an agreement with Architect Aviation College here. We want to bring or purchase an aircraft. And the aircraft that we want to purchase is, I choose a seaplane. Seaplane so that it can land in a remote part of the district, those islands, to provide service. So I chose to purchase, to buy a seaplane that we can use either for medevac, for medical, what we call emergencies, like what we call COVID-19 programs. We need to engage with that, and also one is for surveillance, search and rescue, or one major one is the tourism program in the district. We want to enter into some kind of arrangement with them that they can help us manage and look after our aircraft, even train our students to be aircraft engineers and also pilots.
Architect Aviation is a Philippines-owned company which specializes in training pilots and specialist mechanics in aviation.
We start with providing aviation training here in Papua New Guinea. Instead of Papua New Guineans going to Philippines, so we started our aviation school here. So they will do their schooling here. So we will produce local mechanics here in PNG rather than overseas. We also have our maintenance organization. So once they graduated in our school, we can hire them to practice their skills in performing maintenance. We also offer pilot courses, so we can produce local pilots here in Papua New Guinea. Rather than studying overseas there. And lastly, we are engaging with air operator services, air operation, so we can do our chartered flights and at the same time use our aircraft for our pilot course. And it is our pleasure to work with the tourism industry, sir, for trusting us to operate your aircraft, sir.
With only two modes of transport into the district, that is by air and sea, and being the largest maritime district in Milne Bay Province, Leonard says in addition to the purchase of a seaplane, the DDA also are in the process of purchasing a ferry, which will cost about 4.5 million kina.
And islands and the people are so remotely and sparsely, spread. We have to attend to them. And I'd like to mention here that we are now in the process of purchasing a ferry. It will cost us about 4.5 mil. We're now in the process of getting the clearance from the National Procurement Commission, so we can procure that ferry to also provide sea transport into the district for our people.
The members' decision to purchase the ferry, which will be sourced from Malaysia, and the seaplane, which Architect will assist in sourcing, stems from the challenges faced in the district, especially in logistics. One particular incident occurred yesterday.
At about lunchtime today, the district chartered an aircraft, a Tropic aircraft, to do a medevac. From here, all the way to Woodlock Island at Guasopa, with a doctor on board, our district health, the hospital doctor, Dr. Panta, actually boarded the aircraft to do a medevac, to go all the way to Guasopa on Woodlock Island, and to airlift a mother who had a complication in delivering. So delivery was very bad, so they actually requested for a medevac. So we reacted swiftly, and eventually we made arrangement for the payment to be done. Actually, the child has already passed on in her mother's womb, and we need to save the mother's life.
The medevac yesterday cost the district about 61,000 kina for one operation. Leonard says the seaplane and the ferry should be in operation early next year. The Sepik Chicken Grain and Innovation Project in the plains of East Sepik is embarking to increase production in the coming months. Its new hatchery building is nearing completion, while a new industrial cocoa dryer is being built to improve cocoa quality. Yangoru Sausia MP Richard Maru told EMTV News it's all about innovation and wealth creation for local farmers.
EMTV News was given an exclusive tour of the current progress of the farm. Yangoru Sausia MP Richard Maru, who is behind this project, says it's a cabinet decision in the previous government to establish the farm. He says it's a partnership project in the agriculture sector.
This project resulted from a cabinet decision. And it's really the government that initiated this project and found our partner in Innovative Agro Industries Limited. And they are now providing the management of the farm.
The farming project is located in the Sepik Plains, a massive land area focused in producing local products under the Sepik Fresh brand. A particular innovation is the construction of an industrial cocoa dryer.
Once it gets dried and the cocoa is ready, it's going down here on that way, and then move up, and then from there going down to the bags. You see here, there is the iron that they put the bags inside, and then they can pack bag and bag and bag and bag. Once the bag is ready, they pack them and put them in the warehouse, and then from there, it's going to delivery and to export, the best quality.
The dryer is currently being built by two specialists from South America. About 6,000 metric tons of cocoa will be dried using this machine. It's a mechanism built to alter the current drying method of wet cocoa beans and a game changer for the cocoa industry.
If we do, the company will be able to buy the wet bean from the farmers at a much higher price than they're getting for their wet bean. At the moment, wet bean farmers are selling their wet bean cocoa for between 150 to 2 kina per kilo. I am hoping that by switching to a clean industrial dryer, we will improve the quality And the farm will be able to get more than 3 kina a kilo for the clean dried cocoa that leaves the farm.
Another produce in the farm is the new hatchery. This will see a boost in broilers as well. The hatchery is hoped to be completed in the coming months. Adding on to that, the farm has built a modern facility to process chicken meat.
In 1 hour, we can produce here over 200 or 300 chicken in 1 hour. This is good product. We tried it already, and everything is really working and amazing.
Meanwhile, the road network linking the farm has been allocated 5 million kina in the 2022 national budget. Jack Lopava Jr., National EMTV News.
And now looking at the Nest Fund market report, the kina closed unchanged at $0.2850 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina is buying $0.2775 $0.3837 Australian dollars, $0.4046 New Zealand dollars, and 30.88 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading higher, coffee, cocoa, and copra closed lower. Crude oil is trading higher, palm oil and copper closed lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX 200 is trading lower, and the All Ordinaries is trading lower. You're watching National EMTV News. More stories after these messages. Welcome back. Papua New Guinea's only high-tech innovation cluster, the PNG Digital ICT Cluster Association, hosted its third Tech Innovate event today at Hilton Hotel. Tech Innovate is the cluster's premier annual business conference aimed at fostering an innovation and startup culture for the emerging digital ICT ecosystem for Papua New Guinea and the Pacific region. The theme this year, Building Future Enterprises for a Resilient Digital Economy.
Since the inception of its organizational vision established in 2014 and its incorporation in the year 2018, the PNG Digital ICT Cluster Association has been hosting Tech Innovate conferences with the aim of bringing together trailblazers and innovators in corporate and startup PNG from various sectors coming together as one voice of the digital ecosystem. According to a recent Law Institute research article, internet usage within PNG, whilst still slow, has rapidly increased, and with this has come new opportunities, but substantial barriers still remain.
As a person who comes from the private sector and also a person who has an experience in this field, my deep concern now is, I want to put this forward to the government sectors now who are responsible to implement these policies and framework, is to actually convert those policies into infrastructures. So our responsibility now is experienced people in the field, engineers. We have some of the best brains in Papua New Guinea. So we have to engage them from the government level or private sector and give them the opportunity to express their potential.
Entrepreneurship is nascent in sectors such as ICT and hence does not attract equal participation from existing SMEs, youth, women and other minority groups. Like other countries in the Pacific, most entrepreneurship support is donor-driven through international agencies from idea to growth stage. During the High-Tech Innovation Cluster event today, some young professionals engaged in ICT or related fields, as well as entrepreneurs, shared their stories with EMTV News.
So our objective of participating in this event is to make an awareness on the STEM curriculum, that because this event is all about creating an ecosystem of entrepreneurs and ICT members, networks, and also creators and innovators. So the STEM curriculum is all about producing the next generation of entrepreneurs, innovators, creators, inventors.
So in essence, what we do is we try to solve the problem of convenience, right? So if I need everyday items, how do I get it to me conveniently without the hassle of looking for transport, trying to find the time? So what we've done is something similar to DoorDash, Menulog, or Uber Eats globally.
I am an author. My first book is The 70 Reminders of Academic Excellence, which I wrote on the phone. And upon that, Digital PNG made me the brand ambassador, which I am for 2021. And I also set up my book publication firm to help young Papua New Guinean writers to publish their book in the country, which I call the Phone Book Publishers, because I would like to advocate for the smart usage of mobile phones in the country.
ICT professionals from higher learning institutions which provide the human resource for relevant sectors of PNG's economy were also present to share their experiences and challenges.
What we are trying to do now is to, get to know people in the industry, to bring in ideas to academia and provide input to our program. So we also revised our program to meet the demands like artificial intelligence, big data, cybersecurity, all these things. So these things are now, it's already here. So this is where we are now equipping our students to have all this knowledge and skills so they can participate in the economy.
The adoption and use of information communication technology in Papua New Guinea has significantly increased over the past decade. World Bank statistics suggest that 7.9% of the population is now online. Whilst the rate of growth is the highest in the region, the percentage online is the lowest. Progress is encouraging, but there is still a long way to go.
So coming from a company that develops a lot of these solutions, we've been in this area now for the past 6 to 7 years, and we've seen the growth of technology and the benefits that come with the use of these technologies. So it's very important for us to involve a lot of the stakeholders, not just people within the SME space and within innovation in those spaces, but also involving stakeholders within the government ranks.
Denny Sorere, National EMTV News.
A long-serving secondary school teacher and author of resource books in PNG has resigned after serving for more than 40 years. Lipi Jiram from Makam in Morobe says he will continue to write after retiring. Mr. Jiram is encouraging the government to support local authors.
I have plenty of time.
Lipi Jiram started his teaching career at the Buman Lutheran High School back in 1981. He started as a science teacher, but then moved into taking up mathematics and commerce. The subjects he taught inspired him to start writing books on the subjects. He says the books he wrote helped him in his teaching career as the accounting teacher.
I take writing as something that I used to use it as a way to gain extra knowledge. Because by doing that, I was able to write up, do something that I could not use, and that helped me a lot in my teaching.
Mr. Jiram is the author of several business studies books which are now used in secondary schools around the country. He says he will continue writing after his retirement. The former teacher is encouraging people to write, as he says it will help increase the country's literacy rate.
We need Papua New Guineans to write. We need Papua New Guineans, and I am available to help, support, mentor Papua New Guinean intending, prospective Papua New Guinean writers, because we have vast resources.
Mr. Jiram retired at the age of 63 after teaching in secondary schools around Morobe. A few of his books are said to be published by Candid Creation Publisher in Singapore and a novel in America. Michael Tampipais, National EMTV News, Leh.
It's day 2 of the mass eviction at the Garden Hills settlement in the nation's capital as excavators continue to destroy properties while families are being displaced. The eviction follows a court order of land entitled by the Assembly of God Church. Among the area, an SDA church is soon to be demolished. Jamie Hara reports with more.
Day 2 of the mass eviction continues at Garden Hill settlement as more properties are being torn down while helpless residents look on. Families living towards the end of the settlement near the established residential area knew of the eviction order, however presumed that the area was still state land. According to longtime resident and community leader Rickson Osese, the court-ordered eviction did not cover allotment section 2.
Now this area was a dump area.
where you know what one pamani in Mickey Mouse. Now we were the first settlers from Eastern Highlands. Now mi plakam staplo here, we have about two generations now. Mi plakam maret lo here, papa mama karim pla lo here, mi pla maret lo here, karim pekinini mi pla karim or maret. Mi pla salim lo school, oksim better education, college university, colleges. Now only employee now all staff, now all call him just la home garden hill or some all aspects lo here. Now nobody has a title over this land here. I mean over this allotment. The title was on the other side. Lomos lorot money plus na ikamata bosem. 9-5 na 3 na despla also. We know that somebody has a title over that land. So eviction notice emikam lomipla. As per the court order. Eviction notice by take place on the slab. Usat all settle on the slab or by evictable. Now for us on this side, SDHS ni kambek also allotment 2 na mipla sab also mipla by no evicted. Because no one man ikisim title of the slab area.
This morning, Osese and members of his displaced community visited the State Prosecutor's office to follow up on a lodgement to secure the area, but were asked to seek answers from the Lands Department. Osese said they tried to talk to the authorities on the ground, but were forced to evict as soon as possible. Among the area believed to be a current state land, NSDA church is soon to be demolished.
In the future, or anytime we'll rush in Plalo here, we don't have a place to go. So we must secure because nobody has applied for this land. So that is why Namipla apply the title. And our title, FEPA, all the Slamanti, all documents where Lands Department need him loan, all the requirements implementing now. And our application is now before the Lands Board to have a title on this land, all this allotment. Also, so time eviction come now, talk also Mipla to by Rauslo here, we are caught by surprise. Because no what money got title of the allotment there. It's a free zone. There is no development plan as I speak. No what man, it's in title. So Mipla Sabo also no what money is in title and no what papa the ground so Mipla free lo stablo here.
As residents in the area continue to seek shelter elsewhere, they are calling on the member for Mosby Northwest and the NCD governor to respond swiftly to the situation. Jamie Harrow, National MTV News.
This is National MTV News. Trukai Sports is next. Stay tuned for the details.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The Tauranga Wolfpack are the 2021 premiers of the Mosby South Rugby Football League. The Wolfpack managed a convincing 20-4 victory against the 6 Mile Butao Crows.
The 8th grand final of the Mosby South Rugby Football League was met with no spectators, but outside the confines of the Mosby South Stadium it was packed with supporters. The Tauranga Wolfpack and the 6 Mile Crows were the center of attention, with the men's grand final proving to be entertaining right from kickoff. Both teams debuting this season were not short on skill but were crafty in their attack and tacky in defense. The 6 Mile Crows had early possession in the match but were met with stiff opposition from the Wolfpack. The Wolves making inroads at the Crows' expense, leading to the opening try to center Emmanuel Herrera. A missed conversion, leaving the margin at 4-0. The Crows continued to inch closer to the Wolfpack try line, but poor play options left them scoreless. The Wolfpack, with continued momentum, broke through the Crows' defense once more, with Huka Malakua going in for the team's second 4-pointer, taking the lead to 8-0 after another failed conversion. It all looked bleak for the Crows, but a crafty play by captain, halfback Lotte Kuman, ensured a 2-point deficit, the Crows closing in trailing 6 points to 8. But the game was put away beyond reach when the Wolfpack managed 2 more converted tries, ending the match 20 points to 6.
mi bono kirap nungu sim plastic cab mi been prepare normal time mi block around 5 mi block the boys mi block the DB mi making go inside la Mr. South I'm still block inside and the program the record.
The Wolfpack took the trophy in their maiden year and also the prize money of 20,000 kina. Not bad for the team that managed to string together a team of rookies and a few old heads in the Intercity Cup competition, making it an entertaining side.
I'm master boys come strong in the team. I'm not taroma mangim to no planting pas play union AFL. So it's now but thank you la on sponsor bla big sitalai lo bringing black and la compose kai lo most South League to people thank you na.
Fidelis Sukina, Trukai Sports.
And that ends Trukai Sports. The weather report is next. All the details after the break.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus. With you always.
Weather forecast for southern region, Port Moresby, Daru, Kerma and Popondetta, mostly cloudy with some showers and possible thunderstorms. For the Mamasa region, Lae, partly cloudy with chances of some showers. Wewak and Vanimo, mostly cloudy with brief showers. New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, Kavieng, Kokopo, Rabaul and Kimbe, cloudy with few showers and possible thunderstorms. For the Highlands region, all centres mostly cloudy with few showers.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus. With you always.
And that's the news, sports and weather for Tuesday, 14th of December 2021. I'm Kilawani. Have a pleasant evening. Bye for now.